Welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to give you a high-level introduction to familiarize yourself with the Worksuite platform. We'll cover some key terminology or platform language that'll be helpful to know as you navigate the tool for the first time. We just wanted to clarify up front because Worksuite's a very sophisticated platform with a lot of flexible features that all tie together. Once you know the key terms and module names, you can better configure it to your exact needs. Of course, we can configure the platform for you, so don't worry if you see some words that look different than your team's everyday language. This can all be changed, which you'll see soon. This video is just a quick overview of the top things you should know as you get set up in Worksuite. First, let's start with the platform modules. So there's 6 main areas of the tool, which we call modules. You'll see them lined up here in the sidebar. One is index, or your talent directory. The next is marketplace, which might be called job opportunities. It might be called requisitions. In your case, this is basically sourcing new talent. The other main one is tasks and projects, which is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you're going to manage all your tasks and projects, and these will be tied directly to invoices later. This is the payments or invoices module, again, where money flows through, and these are all tied directly to your tasks as well. Onboarding is where you'll have your automated onboarding workflows, which sets your talent up with exactly the information they need and collects from them exactly what you need so that they can get up to speed quickly and be payable. And last but not least, insights is your workforce analytics. We might also occasionally call this business intelligence or just analytics. And this is where you can get deep insight into your freelancer spend and everything that's happening with your contingent workforce. So those are the main 6 modules. As I mentioned before, you can actually configure the names of these to whatever your terminology is. So if you want to change index to Rolodex, for example, we can do that. If you want to change marketplace to recs or requisitions, we can totally do that as well. We even have publisher customers who use the tasks and projects module with all their sub-brands and all their magazines and blogs and websites. So those are the main 6 areas. So click around and familiarize yourself, and let's get into a few more key terms that I think would be important to know. So one of them that I alluded to is called tenant terms. You might hear our team talking about this on occasion. A tenant term is basically a dynamic variable word that appears everywhere in Worksuite. So for example, here you see all contractors, search contractors, add contractor. You might call them freelancers, you might call them partners, you might call them coaches, consultants, vendors. That's a tenant term. So we can configure that for you to however you refer to your talent, and then that will reflect everywhere in the platform across all the buttons and headers and microcopy. So a pretty cool trick just to make Worksuite even more configurable to your exact needs. Another term to know that you may hear us talk about is tenant. Tenant is your Worksuite environment. That just means what you see here, your actual environment. Next, we have filters. Now, filters are available in your talent directory as well as opportunities, job openings, and tasks and projects. They're just these things here. So you see where it says more filters. This is how you're going to surface your top talent. This is how you're going to organize your data in this table view or in the grid view, whatever you prefer. And you can set up your filters to default across the top here and stick so that you don't have to keep adding them like this. Just a really helpful way to make it your own and quickly get back to your go-to talent, your go-to tasks, like anything you need to be top of mind here. You can fix these to the top, and we'll show you that in another lesson around how to make sure your filters are sticky and you don't have to keep adding these. So that's an easy fix in your settings, but we'll get into that later in the course. Bulk actions is another term you might hear us throw around on occasion. That's anytime you select multiple talent, this little bar pops out across the top, and these are your bulk actions. So you can do a number of things. We'll get into that in more detail later in the course, but basically this allows you to really turbo boost your talent management workflow and allow you to send invitations en masse, ask 100 freelancers at a time for their future availability. You can put a batch of people through a given workflow, if you need to onboard a bunch of people at the same time, the possibilities are kind of endless as to what you can do with bulk actions. You can organize all of your copywriters into a group called copywriters. Like there's so many things you can do with bulk actions as well as quick actions. So a quick action would be on your talent profile, any of these here. Again, similar to the bulk actions, but this is just for one profile. You can send the person a message. You can do any number of things on that particular talent, or we can do it in mass with the bulk actions, as I just mentioned. Last but not least, one term that you might hear us throw around on occasion is the term feature flag. This is a hidden feature that we activate for you in the back end of Worksuite. You may occasionally hear us refer to this. For example, say you were browsing our news feed here with the new features and you were reading about something that just came out and it's so new that it's not visible in your current view. Now, if you talk to your trusty support team, they might say something like, that's a feature flag and we'll turn it on for you. So that's what that means, but just giving you some key terms that might be helpful to know as you get stuck into the platform. So what I want you to do right now is spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, familiarize yourself with the 6 different modules here in the sidebar. That's your talent directory, job openings or marketplace, tasks and projects, payments and invoices, onboarding workflows, and insights or workforce analytics. Familiarize yourself, and then next, I'd like you to think about what you want to call your partner's tenant term. So where you see here in mine, it says contractors. Yours might be freelancers. It might be consultants, coaches, vendors, whatever you'd like that to be called. Think about it. Let us know, and we'll help you configure it. Do that now, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks for listening.